Welcome back to another episode of the From Half Court Sports Talk Show with Darren and Rob. I'm your host, Rob. That's my co host, Darren. Before we get into today's NBA games, make sure you guys like and subscribe down below and hit that bell button so you can get notifications.
Sir, yes, sir.
All right, so let's get into it. Boston, Miami. What'd you think, Darren?
Um, and once again, I was very surprised that Miami. I thought Miami was gonna pull this game out very easily, and I was very shocked. I actually told LA when they were down by like maybe like 15, 20. I was like, yeah, they're gonna still come back. Don't even worry about it. But sure enough, no, they didn't come back. And
Well,
one more
go ahead,
thing
my
before
fault.
you go,
Yeah.
the Celtics. What concerns me is the Celtics actually showed fight to get back in game one. This game, Miami Heat, they were still showing fight, but they just could not. They could not close that gap. Like the Celtics started to close the gap in the first game, but nah, not in this one.
Once again, the better defense won this basketball game, and the better defense tonight. I'm sorry, yesterday was the Boston Celtics. I'm not super surprised that they won the game. I'm more surprised of how they won the game. I shouldn't say that. I'm more surprised of how many points they won the game by. I thought it was gonna be a way closer game than it was. I was thinking more low, like 95 to 100 type game. So I'm really surprised how well Boston shot all around. Jason Tatum's it looked like a superstar again. Boston took back home court, which is I think is a big deal for this series. I'm not going to freak out on the Heat just because, like we said at the beginning of the series, coaches win playoff games and with adjustments from game to game. And I have all the faith in the world that Eric Spoelstra can make the adjustments it takes to win the win the next game, or at least still one of these games in Boston, because that's the goal now. Still one of these games in Boston.
Yeah,
Not a great shooting night for Miami, in my opinion. If we look at their 3 point shooters, Struess was 2 for 7. PG Tucker was 1 for 1. Tyler Hero was 0 for 3. Victor Oladipo 1 for 5 from three. Not a good 3 point shooter game. Like we said, this game you have to get to the basket. Get to the basket and play defense is going to separate them. Because if you have a bad shooting night, I think you're going to lose that game.
so if I could double down and actually go a little bit further into the game, I think the biggest adjustment that the Celtics actually threw, obviously besides playing a little bit more physical on the defensive side, and they were just making every three that they shot like for the longest. Every three was just going in. Um, but the Al Horford and Marcus Smart being in this game was the biggest change up because you got the defensive player of the league in the game all of a sudden, and you also got this veteran who fits really like a glove with this team. Like he fits perfect with this team. So and you see he goes 4 for 4. Now if you go to Miami side, the problem with them is that Bam is not being Bam. I think they said in the regular season he averaged 19 and 10. This is not that. It's not just one game. This has been pretty much the playoffs for him. And I'm getting a little bit concerned at this point because that's their rim protection, that's their paint presence. So I'm getting a little bit concerned because as deep as this team goes, you're not going to go terribly far if you can't play physical inside. That's how I feel.
Also, it looks like Duncan Robinson got way more playing time. He was 0 for 4 from three.
Yep.
So, the biggest thing going into Boston for well, let me ask you first. What adjustments does
hmm
Miami have to make to win a game in Boston?
Ultimately, I feel like you have to get Kyle Lowry in the game. You got to match fire with fire. You got if they're going to throw more depth at you with their defensive players or defensive. Well, honestly, Al Horford's a defensive player too. He can be a defensive player. Obviously not. You know what I mean. Anyway, fight fire with fire. You gotta bring Kyle Lowry into the game. He has to be healthy. Um, Maybe a minute switch up for some people. I'm not necessarily sure who it will be for, but ultimately, everybody got to be a little bit better. And Jimmy played a good game. It's just he didn't have anyone that really came with him.
Yeah, I thought Jimmy played well too. He was getting to his spots, getting into the paint, being physical. I thought he played a good game too, man. It's just going to be a very, very tough series.
Yep, this is definitely going to be a tough series. There's no question about that. But I'm looking for Bam. That's the person that I'm looking for. Bam, and I want to see Kyle Lowry out there. I'm not rushing him because the injury's an injury. I understand, but he needs to be out there at some point. Bam got to show up. Bam has to have a big game at some point because truly, nobody should be able to stop you on the Celtic side. Now it might be hard to get the ball to you, but then you just gotta have a defensive game where you show up and nothing's coming into the paint. Everything has to be a jump shot.
You got
That's how this.
predictions? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. What's up?
I was said, do you have any predictions for Game Three?
I think the Celtics probably take Game 3, just being back home.
I think the Garden's going to be rocking. So
It's not
yeah,
the
I agree
guard.
with you. Um, the little Irishman underneath the what do you call it? Underneath the court is definitely going to help him
Hmm
win this game.
It's gonna be the fan base. But yeah, ultimately this was not a good game for Miami,
So
and somebody.
what's the over under that the Boston Celtics fans call Jimmy Butler the N-word?
That's a, that's I don't know. I don't know.
I
Boston,
say two.
Boston fans. You know Boston fans. I'm not. I wouldn't want to play there. If I did, well, I guess I'm getting paid if I play there, so I don't care. But anyway, I hope Miami wins this game. I hope Miami take both of these games in Boston. To be honest with
All right. Well, there's the Dallas Mavericks versus Golden State is tonight. Game two at 9 o'clock on TNT. You have any predictions for this game?
you. Yeah, Golden State's gonna win again.
I have Dallas winning this game. I have Luca winning off a buzzer beater. Luca
No,
legend himself.
absolutely not. Absolutely not, bro. Bro, Golden State showed their colors. They're back to being that defensive team that can slow down most other teams and still get hot on the other side. They go on
Well,
runs.
I feel what you're saying, but once again, playoffs is about making adjustments. I think Dallas can make those adjustments, and I feel like people have been the first two series. People start sleeping on Dallas because they went down 2-0 in both of those games, both those series. I'm sorry, and I think Dallas has a certain chip on their shoulder, especially being the quote unquote the worst team left in the playoffs. So I feel like they get it done tonight. They take home court back, and hopefully they can win both games at home.
I don't even know where to start with what you just said. Um, um, he, uh, no, just no, no. They're not winning at. So first off, if they went down 2-0 in all the other series, why wouldn't they go down 2-0 to Golden State?
Because Luca.
Okay, but they went. That's what you would have said the other series too. You see what I'm saying?
But I use that to preference how people have doubted them this whole playoffs.
But you can use that in game 3, not game 2. I just got Golden State winning this. They're going to outshoot them. They're going to out physical 'em. They're just going to play Golden State ball, and that fan base will be rocking. That's just all it's going to come down to. I really believe. Go if you can go to the last four. Because did we get to review their game?
We did.
No, we didn't,
Why didn't we?
because they played Wednesday. They played Wednesday night.
So we didn't review the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you can go to their score real quick, their scorecard or game, you know what I'm trying to say.
The box score.
Thank you. My biggest thing is if you can actually go to Golden State, because this is where it really matters. This is a blowout. Bro, yeah. Certain people, bro, they're going to play better. I don't know. I just don't know how you stop Golden State. Dude, Dallas has to play small ball. What I will tell you is Kleber got in foul trouble probably in the second quarter.
It was really
Like he was
early, yeah.
probably he had like 3 or 4 fouls like early, and that's their paint presence. But dog, that's the only person that they really got.
I like Powell, but they, like you said, bro, they gotta play small ball. They usually take him out pretty early.
This team is not built to play in Golden State. They have big guards. That's the one thing I will say. Their guards are bigger, so you would think they would be able to defend their small ball, but ultimately, no, it's not going to happen like that
Well, yeah, they're not defensive
because.
guards though.
And I would argue, yeah, ultimately, you know what? That's where I think this series is pretty much matched at. Who has the more defensive team?
Historically, Golden State. I'm pretty sure. I would assume this year Golden State as well.
Okay, so if Golden State has the more
That's like
defensive team,
oh,
and I agree with you, I would agree with you,
right.
and they can make you play at their pace because of how they hit their threes. The way they go and runs is a little bit different. I'm not saying Dallas is not going to get a game. They're going to get a game, but they're not going to. It's too hard to slow this down. This machine is too much. I don't know. I don't know. It's just too much.
I feel what you're saying.
Somebody's
It's just really hard to bet against Golden State, especially since we've seen it time after time after time in the mid 2010s. They just proved it so many times. It's hard to bet against it. We've seen
we've
it.
also seen it against tougher teams.
Yeah,
And I'm
those
not trying to
OKC
diss
teams.
I'm not trying to diss Dallas. I'm just trying to say we've seen it against OKC when it was KD and Russ was Steven Adams and their run that they had. We saw it with Chris Paul and James Harden. We've seen this. We've seen it
And
versus the
those were tough
Cavs.
series. Those are like 7 game slugfest.
And it's not a disrespectful thing towards Dallas. It's just we've seen it versus tougher teams. I just don't know how you stop that when they're still the better defensive team and you just rotated a different person in who's essentially Andrew Wiggins and Looney. And then Jordan Poole. They're just putting the same type of pieces around these three pieces, and they're not missing.
I want to talk about Jordan Poole for a little bit and how him stepping up this season is a big deal for Golden State. Uh, Remember, let's go back to the Golden State championship days. Who was their backup point guard?
Oh, bro, this nigga was big. Livingston.
What was he really good at?
Oh man, it's been a while. I feel like Livingston was really good at getting to the basket or just these. I don't even know how to call
He
it.
used to post up smaller guards and just
Jump
shoot
mid
over them.
range.
Just
Yeah,
shoot
mid
over them.
range. It
He
was
did that
mid
all the
range. Yeah,
time. That was his go-to thing.
yeah.
Jordan Poole is a I when Livingston was there, I always had this feeling, what are they going to do when Sean Livingston's not there? Because he gets his buckets specifically in a certain type of way. Jordan Poole is so dynamic of a guard. If Golden State is looking to possibly make him their future guard, they could totally do that. But I can also see Jordan Poole leaving for like a big contract, for a big contract somewhere else and starting somewhere
Yeah.
else. I think Jordan Poole gives you so many more dynamic. Uh, there's so many more ways for him to score than Sean Livingston was. Don't get me wrong,
He
Sean
pl-
Livingston was deadly the way he scored, Jordan Poole can score from whatever. He can still blow
It's
by
just
people. It's quick as shit.
it's the difference is that Sean Livingston, you put him with the second team, and he was good. He was really good. Jordan Poole, you can put him with the second team, or you can put him with the starters, and he's going to get a shot. That's kind of what it is. That's the difference to me. And he just flows in the offense a little bit better because of his 3-point ball. But I also think that's the adjustment with the league as well.
I think my point is it's just such a damn good, it's such a fucking good fit for Golden State. It's low key kind of an upgrade. Like we can talk about how Clay's defense has fallen off a little bit, but
They got Andrew Wiggins for defense right now for the super tough defensive assignments.
which I don't mind and I like.
Besides
I like
Draymond.
matching. I like athletic defenders. Um, but Jordan Poole just adds a different dynamic to this team, which makes them so deadly to me. It
I
feels like
agree.
they have a
But
three-headed dragon at guard.
to be honest with you, the same way I feel about Jordan Poole is the same way I feel about Dinwiddie for the Mavericks.
Hmm.
Like he just comes in and he can score any way which way he wants. He can be a starting point guard on other teams any day of the week. Like that's how good he is, bro. But yeah, mm, definitely got Golden State winning tonight though. They also saying I think Luca's hurt.
What?
There's a little injury, but he's not like hurt that he's not gonna play. But I'm hearing that he's a little bit hurt, a little bit banged up.
So speaking of, in that first game, he hurt his shoulder or something.
Oh yeah, he was holding his shoulder or something like that.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's what it is, but yeah, he was holding his shoulder. So
Yeah. Um, Going back to Jimmy Butler though, really quick. Who was it? Oh, Shaq and Chuck was arguing about I don't care if Marcus Smart is in or not. If you that great, you should be able to get your own shot. You should be
mm,
able to get your score, get your 40, get your 40 piece.
okay,
And Shaq was saying that specifically.
okay.
And then Charles was like, "Bro, he's the defensive player of the year. Like, what are you talking about?" I thought that was a very hilarious debate. I understood both arguments though.
Who do you side with more? Because at first hearing about this, I'm
I
siding
don't.
with Shaq
Uh,
because the way the league is, we've said this for years, it's favorite to the offensive player. So in this league, you should be able to get your shot as a superstar whenever you want.
I would argue it's different
It's,
in the playoffs.
you still have to be able to get your shot. You still have to be able to get to your spots. You still have to be able, like the
I don't know about
score.
getting 40
40 is kind of a
in
lot. 40 is kind of
back
a
to
lot.
back
That's a lot
playoff
to ask
games.
for.
Yeah, we
Um,
both just said Jimmy did his thing. So you know
40
what I'm
is actually
saying?
kind of ridiculous and actually not feasible for like anything over 30 points a game is a spectacular game. Am I wrong?
Pretty good game.
Anything over don't do that. No. 30 points is a lot of fucking points. The
It's a
league
pretty good
average
game.
is probably around 30, 31.
It's a pretty good game in the
I'm
playoffs.
sorry. I'm sorry. The scoring leader is probably around 30 to 31, right?
It's a pretty good game in the playoffs.
Superstars, your superstar should be you want your superstar scoring 25 plus points a game.
It's a pretty
If
good
so, if
game
you're
in the
scoring
playoffs.
anything over 25 plus points a game, you should be that's like number one player on a NBA team.
It's a pretty good game in the playoffs.
No, that's a great game.
Yeah,
We're not
I
about to do
agree.
this. We're not
Look,
about to kill this. 25 points is a great game in the NBA.
in
And
the
it always
playoffs, yeah,
has been. We're not about to
in the
act like
playoffs, yeah, it's a
25
good game.
points isn't shit.
The playoffs, that's a good game.
In the playoffs in the regular season, that's a great game.
No, the playoffs, that's a good game.
You're tripping.
For a superstar in the playoffs, that's a good game. We both just said Jimmy had a good game. Somebody just needed to come along with him. That's all we said.
That's
We're
because
not
it's a
blaming him.
team game though.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't know who I
Now,
agree with. I just
if we
thought it
were
was a
talking
good
about
argument.
like a Giannis team or a LeBron team where these guys are super ball dominant and they're making all the plays for themselves and their teammates around them, okay, you might have a little bit of an argument. But for Jimmy Butler, we said this multiple times this playoffs. They have multiple guys on that team that can get their own shot. It's not like they're just spot up shooters waiting for Jimmy to set them up. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. I see what
So
you're
I
saying.
think that's the difference.
I see what you're saying. I just thought it was a good argument, though. That's all I was saying.
It's definitely a conversation that can be had.
It's also the defensive player of the year, though. Let me throw that out there. But, got anything else?
Let's find out.
Doesn't matter. It truly
So
doesn't.
apparently, J. Cole is about to play pro ball in Canada. You have any takes, Darren?
Um, Not really. I'm happy that he's doing his thing. That's it.
I know Master P played a little bit of NBA ball, but have we ever seen a rapper become an NBA player?
He's not an NBA player.
I'm sorry, become a professional basketball player?
I don't know.
Because I think that's pretty impressive. Even if he got like a little bit of his he kind of got it because he's J. Cole and stuff. I think that's still pretty fucking cool. Oh, Drake's even at the game. All right. You got anything else? Or do you want to talk about
I
some
have.
football?
Nah, I don't really got anything else. At some point, when I'm ready to talk about college football, at some point, because I'm ready to talk about this USC noise that everybody's talking about.
Go ahead.
But nah, everybody's saying that USC is gonna be nice. I think USC is gonna be nice as well. I think they're gonna be nice, but I think people also need to pay respect to the other teams. Like I like Washington, I like Utah, and I like Oregon, and they're
So
all
why
out
do you
there
like
too.
them better than USC specifically?
I didn't say I like them better. I just said I like them for competition. I understand if you a USC fan, I understand why you would talk like that. Actually, I don't. I'm an OSU fan, and I'm humble. I'm humble, and we're there pretty much every year. I'm humble, so I understand if we were talking that noise.
That's a little different though. We kind of got smacked, but the way we got smacked by Michigan last year, we're on business trip this year.
Exactly, but that was the first year that we really got extremely humbled by somebody in our own conference.
That's not true.
Like we've
We've been
like we've
humbled
been
multiple
humbled by
times.
Penn State, but we still got in the playoffs.
No, we've been humbled multiple times. You remember when
All right,
we lost to Michigan
Rob,
State
you
in the
about to get
national
off
championship
topic.
game?
I'm not about to get off topic. This is about USC. It's not about OSU.
All right,
I'm
go ahead.
saying ultimately we are a good team and we're consistently a good team. USC, they're not as
Oh yeah,
a
bro, they're
good
gonna be
team.
nice, Darren. They're getting Jordan
I
Addison.
agree. I agree. They're going to be nice. They just got the number one recruit on the number one transfer and from quarterback and receiver.
What quarterback did they get?
I think that he was going to go to Oklahoma. He might have been at Oklahoma with Lincoln Riley. All right. I get it. I get it. They're going to be nice. I'm just saying, be humble in the approach. And if not, because when you get to the playoffs, you will get humble. Lincoln Riley consistently gets humble. Like this is not it. Just all I'm saying is yes, you might win their whole thing, but like don't over. Okay, that's all I'm saying. You might make the playoffs, but you might also get smacked in the playoffs. Wouldn't it be crazy if OSU saw USC?
That would be fun. That'd
That
be
would be
really
fun.
fun.
We would have to pull this tape back up.
I don't.
But
I don't think. I like the Trojans. I don't know if I have them coming out the Pac-12 though.
I don't know either.
This is a pretty fucking tough schedule, relatively.
I like I like Utah and I like
They're
Washington.
at Utah. And did they play Washington? I don't think they play Washington
Full
this year.
click full schedule. Oh, you're right. They don't play Washington. They might be
This
in
is
the
definitely a winnable schedule. The toughest games are obviously going to be Notre Dame.
100%.
You said Utah. Everything else they should win. But you know how rivalry games go. Like at least two like trap games. Like UCLA, definitely a trap game, and I think Stanford's a trap game too. That they're on the road for both those games. So
Shit.
those are the games they really got to worry about. These road games. They have
Even
all
if
these tough road
even
games.
even if you somehow win this shit, you got Notre Dame at the end of the schedule. And then you got if you do win that, you got the playoffs. Like, come on now. Like, just be humble. That's all I'm trying to say. Be humble. I like this team. I like where they're going, and I think they're going to have a good season. But be humble. Be humble in the approach. That's it's hard to tell people from LA to be humble. And I understand that. After being out there, I understand it. It's nice.
No, I
But
don't understand it. This when's the last time the USC Trojans have had a good football team? Reggie Bush? Because the
yeah, be
last time I
careful.
remember them having, we beat them in a bowl game.
All I'm saying, like I told you, just be humble. That's all I'm trying to tell them. Be humble. As an OSU fan, I've been taught that so many times. Damn, that's a lot of L's. Okay, that's a lot of dubs. That's a lot of L's. That's pretty good. But I don't know, man. Then we could probably finish up with this.
2017. We beat these niggas 24-7.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Who was their quarterback that year? I forget his name.
Theirs or ours?
Theirs. I forget his name.
Castle.
Oh, Sam Darnold. It was Sam Darnold.
Oh, huh, I do remember this game. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Just be humble. That's all I gotta say. Because there's always the chance that you run into Alabama, Georgia, OSU. And the thing is, if you continue to get better and they like you, they're gonna put us on your schedule, and then we will humble you.
Yeah,
And that's
but you know how
just
college
that's it.
football schedules work, bro. We won't play these niggas till like 2030.
Yeah, true,
And so unless it's like already scheduled, we don't play these niggas 2030. I remember in
true.
2012, I think it was like 2012 or something. But we scheduled like Oregon on our schedule, and we just played them like a couple years ago. So they make these schedules like 6, 7 years down the line. It's gonna be a whole different draft class. It's gonna be completely new rosters. They're not even gonna look
Lincoln
the
Riley's
same.
still gonna be there. Lincoln Riley's still
Are you sure?
still
Because if he's not winning games, he's gonna be out.
he's gonna be winning games in this division, in this conference.
Um,
I'm not. I'm just saying, don't be surprised when Washington and who I say before
Utah.
Utah come knocking. That's all I'm saying. And Oregon. I don't want to disrespect Oregon because it's with this NIL deal or whatever it is.
Ah, speaking of, I'm gonna wrap up on that.
If I was
Did you
gonna get a
hear?
deal,
Go ahead.
if I was gonna get a deal from Nike, I'm going to Oregon. If they like, yeah, you're nice. We're gonna put you in the dopest uniforms. Come play at Oregon. Da da da. Bet Silicon, bro. It's not Silicon Valley money, but I could tell you that's Nike money, and I'm cool with Nike money too. Wait, is it Nike? Yeah, it's Nike. I think it is. Now I'm just getting confused. My fault. Go ahead.
Did you hear? I'm gonna wrap up on this. Did you hear Nick Saban's comments about the NIL
Yeah.
deals and
Well, how he
what
was
he took
mad
a
at
shot at Dion? He took a shot at a couple teams actually. He took a shot at Dion, and he took a shot at Texas A&M.
yeah, he shouldn't have did that. He shouldn't have specifically mentioned them, but it is what it is. I think he might just be salty, man. He might just be salty going forward because it's gonna the NIL deal is really gonna change everything. And I don't think I'm not sure if the kid from that's going to Georgia State, Jackson State. Oh, sorry, Jackson State. I don't think he's getting. I'm not sure if it's confirmed that he got $1 million deal. and I don't think it was Dion that actually got him the deal. So I'm not too sure.
Once again, bro, I'm gonna say this about Deion Sanders. He's the greatest cornerback in the NFL has ever seen. If you're a top cornerback or receiver, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to go play for under Deion. I think he's gonna get you right. Um, yeah, but I'm
It's
with you
fun.
about Nick Saban, bro. He did kind of sound salty because he had the number 2 recruiting class in the country, and he was talking about how
Texas A&M
boosters
welfare
funnel
players.
money through the NIL deals. So there's not like it's not really the businesses or companies paying these kids. It's kind of just the boosters funneling it to them.
Yeah.
So I see what he's saying. I see, and I saw this. People saw this problem possibly coming,
Yep.
but I think this is just the fallout to paying players. That's all this is going to be for the next 5-6 years. Then it's just going to be normal.
They're going to figure out some type of rule that stops that shit, but not necessarily. They're not going to take back the kids actually getting the money. I think they're just going to take back a rule that people can't just give money to a business to fund it. I don't think that's going to. They're not going to allow that. Especially that. Eventually, that's going to be outlawed or some shit.
Hey, bro, these boosters are different. These boosters love their football and they want their college football teams to win. And we know how passionate people are about college football. It's basically depending on what state you go to. Like I was thinking about this the other day too. In Ohio State, we're very passionate Ohio State fans in Columbus. Go around
In
Columbus, we're
Ohio,
very, very passionate.
you go through Ohio, people are very passionate Ohio State fans.
It's religion in the South. That's all they have in Alabama. It's religion to them. So it's just a little bit different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
I don't think we look at football as religion in Columbus. We just look at it as we're just very passionate football fans.
I,
It's a religion to them.
well, and the difference that you're saying is, to me, is for Alabama fans, maybe they're doing something an hour or two before the game. Maybe their whole morning is booked for the game. We just get to the TV by noon and watch the game. You know what I mean? Get to where you are by noon and watch the game. You know what
There,
I mean?
what our thing
We're
is
not
when somebody
we're
says
not a
OH, we say IO back, right?
100% down the
We
street.
don't
That's
do that
gotta
after
be.
every fucking sentence we say, dog. They say roll tide after everything.
They
Hey
don't say
Mary, I gotta go to the bathroom. Roll tide.
no. They don't do this. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. They don't do this
Hey Hunter, what'd you get on your science project? I got
until
a
we
B
get
minus. Roll tide.
unt- until no stop. I'm done. We got no stop until we get somebody from Alabama that's an Alabama fan that says that. I don't believe you. You need
Bro,
to stop
Darren,
that.
I went on
You need to
vacation
stop that.
back when I was in high
To
school
Alabama?
to Florida. And they had and we met these kids from Alabama on the basketball court. Homie was like, where you from? We were like, oh, we're from Ohio. I said, where you from? Alabama. Roll Tide. I was like, y'all really say that after everything? Roll Tide. I was like, Lord have mercy. They different down there, boy.
This is a kid, bro. This is a kid.
Roll Tide.
This is a kid. Leave him alone, bro.
Dear Lord, we thank you for our sins.
I'm not doing
Amen.
this.
Roll Tide.
Anyway, the NIL deal. I'm happy for everybody getting paid, but I know it's gonna have one super team that we're gonna be like, man, that's gonna be the greatest college football team ever. And then that's when, yeah, sports gonna probably be a little bit done that for me at that point. But it's all good.
So you think the people are gonna make these athletes gonna make good enough money to be able to say, let's say they're not quote unquote, let's say it's like a bust. Big high prospect prospect, they got all this money, they made $2.5 million throughout their whole college career, and so they're a bust and they're like, damn, I'm good. I'm good. I don't have to go get another job. Two and a half
But yeah,
million
I
a year
mean,
or something stupid.
if it's a guaranteed deal, I can get. Hey, I don't know, bro. Here's
But
the hardest thing about it. Ultimately, people are going to, if we see athletes retiring early, like Luke Kuechly, for example. Luke Kuechly played what, 8 years, something like that, 18
yeah,
years, something I forgot.
it was
And
very short.
he's a Hall of Famer, right?
Correct.
But he left early. Patrick Willis left early, And it's like these are great middle linebackers. They left the game early. I can see a kid being like, "Yeah, I don't really love the sport, especially the higher I go up, so I'm done." Or they're just gonna be like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna go up one step higher, get that guaranteed contract in my first round, being the first round pick. Then I'm done. Then I don't care about the next contract
But that's the
because
thing,
I'm
Darren.
done."
If you're willing to go and do the rookie contract, you might as well stay around for the second deal because the second deal is where they make the crazy money. If you're like a superstar, if you're really good at it,
If you're a superstar,
that's when you
for
make the
example,
crazy
did
money.
Jadeveon Clowney get crazy money? You don't gotta look this up, but did he get crazy money
Uh,
after? Because he
I don't think
probably make
so. I don't know.
good money, but did he get JJ Watt money?
No.
Did he get what TJ Watt is going to get? Actually, TJ Watt already got paid, right?
Yeah, he got paid this past all season.
Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, is he making what they gonna make?
No. But you
Miles
remember
Garrett, Lil Mac,
Mario Williams? That's kind of an older name, but yeah, you remember Mario Williams?
yeah, man.
Crazy money. That second contract was crazy money. And I would argue he wasn't even a top five DN at the time.
I see what you're saying. It's just not guaranteed. And then on top of it, if you don't stay around through that whole contract, what at that point you're what 28, 30? You really want to be playing football that long? I'm 29 right now. I can guarantee you, I wouldn't want to play football right now. I just wouldn't. I'd rather be on the sideline calling plays or being a GM and putting the pieces together. I would rather do any other thing besides that shit. Actually being on the field.
All right. You got anything else for today before we wrap up?
Nope, I think we covered a lot, especially for a Friday.
Definitely, definitely. So thank you guys for watching another episode of the From Half Court Sports Talk Show with Darren and Rob. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below and hit that bell button so you can get notifications. And we'll see you guys Monday. Peace out.
Peace. Y'all stay up.